His eyes were still open, but the hyenas had already taken half his face. That's the part that won't leave my head, no matter how much I try to forget. I was only 14 when it happened, but I remember every detail. People think folk tales are just stories to scare children, but I saw one come to life, and I wish I hadn't. This happened in 1997, in a small village near the edge of Sambisa Forest in northern Nigeria. I was staying with my uncle while my parents worked in Maiduguri. The village was quiet, peaceful, until he came, Prince Mamadou. He wasn't a real king, but he was the first son of the local emir, rich, untouchable, and cruel. He traveled with guards who did anything he told them. People said he once burned a man's farm just because the man refused to kneel fast enough. Another time, a girl went missing after he visited. No one dared speak her name again. He arrived in our village one morning during the dry season. The sun was cruel that year. The rivers were dry, and the trees were thin and gray. He came in a convoy, 5 black jeeps, dusty and loud. Said he was hunting. Said the forest had something special he wanted to find. Nobody asked questions, not if you wanted to live. That night, strange things started happening. The air felt heavy. The chickens refused to leave their pens. The dogs were restless, whining and hiding under huts. Then, after midnight, the drums started. Not village drums, not human. These were deep, slow, rhythmic. You didn't hear them. You felt them in your ribs, like your heart was being pulled into the ground. My uncle bolted up from his mat, wide-eyed. He started whispering prayers and locking windows. He poured salt along the doors and burned old leaves. I asked what was wrong. He looked at me and said, "They've called it out." That boy woke something. I didn't sleep. The next day, the prince and his guards entered the forest, guns in hand, all laughing like they were going to a party. He didn't ask for a guide, didn't take a tracker, just walked into the oldest, thickest part of the forest, where even hunters don't go. By evening, none of them came back. At dawn, we heard a scream. One of the guards came running out of the trees alone. His eyes were wide, like he'd seen the devil. He collapsed in the dirt, shaking and foaming at the mouth. He never spoke a word, not once. A search party went in. They found them after 3 days. 4 men ripped to pieces, limbs scattered. One had his head twisted all the way around, like a chicken before slaughter. The prince was sitting upright against a tree, like he was resting, but half his face was missing. Torn away, not cleanly, like something with small teeth had chewed it, slowly, while he was still alive. His eyes were still open. They left his body there. Nobody wanted to touch it. Not even the search party. They piled stones over him and left the forest without looking back. My uncle said, that forest took him as payment. He insulted something older than kings. A week later, we packed and left. My uncle said the spirits would be awake for a while, and we shouldn't be there when they start looking for more. Years later, I read online about a local folk tale. An old spirit called Nulugu said to sleep beneath the roots of certain trees. Only wakes when someone enters the forest with arrogance and no offering. I don't know if it was Nulugu. All I know is the prince's eyes were still open, and something in that forest had been waiting.